Chris Shandex, CYInterview covering Las Vegas and the world. If you have not already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel to keep up with everything we have going on here in Las Vegas and beyond. We greatly appreciate your support. So we are only hours away from the opening ceremonies taking place in Paris for the 2024 Summer Olympics, the Paris Olympics, whatever you want to call them. They're almost here, and CYInterview today is going to break down 5 interesting things that you will need to see at the Paris Olympics from Team USA. These are the things that we think stand out. Number 1, of course, no surprise, Simone Biles. What will she be able to accomplish at the Paris Olympics? There's no denying that she, with her 7 Olympic medals, will continue to set new records. She will continue to win more medals, and her journey at the Olympics will begin this coming Sunday in the qualifying rounds. We shall see what ends up happening and how she does. And also, will Team USA be able to bring the gold home in the Olympics is a very important thing to also focus on the sport of gymnastics. But Simone Biles, of course, everyone will be watching. It'll probably be some of the highest ratings, if not the highest ratings, of the Olympics in the United States of America. So what records will she set at the Paris Olympics will yet to be determined. Number 2, will Team USA men's basketball end up winning the gold? They just had a squeaker the other day when they played South Sudan. On the men's side in the Olympics in basketball, nothing is ever for certain. Team USA has had some very competitive games with other countries over the years. And one of the other questions that will have to be asked is that, is this LeBron James' last Olympic Games? Could he come back in 4 years? Maybe. I mean, can you be the Tom Brady of the NBA? Will he still be playing basketball in 4 years? We'll have to wait and see on that. But if I had to guess, this may very well be LeBron James's last Olympic Games. So will Team USA men be able to bring the gold home? If they continue to have squeaker contests, anything is possible, and I wouldn't rule out any of the competition from other countries. Number 3, we already talked about this the other day, but we'll bring it up again. Team USA women's basketball going for a record 8th straight gold medal. They will be led, of course, by Las Vegas Aces star, past CYInterview guest, A'ja Wilson, WNBP, 2-time WNBA champion, national champion in college basketball, of course, at the University of South Carolina. A'ja Wilson will be leading the Aces along with Kelsey Plum and Chelsea Gray and Jackie Young, the other Aces representing Las Vegas in this Olympics from the WNBA team here in the entertainment capital of the world. We wish them all the best. Please bring home the gold. Please set the records. A fun fact, the women's basketball team, Team USA, has not lost a game since 1992. So, women's basketball is getting more competitive across the world. I expect that Team USA will find a way. Don't ever take anything for granted in sports. We'll have to wait. Number 4, this will be tennis player Coco Gauff's first Olympics at 20 years old. She has become one of the great stars of tennis. She is continuing to show great strides in the sport, and a lot of people know that she is the future of women's tennis in America. She is just an unbelievable athlete. It'll be very interesting to see how Coco Gauff does in her first Olympic Games at the Paris Olympics. She will be carrying the flag, one of the flags for Team USA for the opening ceremonies. I know that she was very honored to do that. LeBron James will be carrying the other one. We will see how Coco Gauff does on the tennis court at the Olympics in her first Olympics, and hopefully she'll be able to bring home a gold medal. And finally, one from Las Vegas, another Las Vegas story, getting away from our defending WNBA champion Las Vegas Aces. Vashti Cunningham will be competing in her second Olympics. She'll be competing in the high jump. Vashti, her father, is NFL great quarterback Randall Cunningham, who played his college football at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas Rebels football team, of course, alongside past CYInterview guest of SportsCenter ESPN fame, Kenny Mayne, Dancing with the Stars, of course, also. So Vashti Cunningham will be in the sport. Her mother also, Felicity, is a professional ballerina who danced at the Dance Theater of Harlem. So, athletic genetics all around for Vashti Cunningham. This is her second Olympic Games. Hopefully she'll be able to bring home a medal to Las Vegas and and she'll be competing in the high jump in the area of track and field. So those are some of your overviews on things to pay attention to here at the upcoming Olympics. Go Team USA, bring home the gold, as they say. Now, for those of you who want to look back on CYInterview, prior to the London Games in 2012, one of the other sports at the Olympics, of course, is fencing. We had a chance to speak with silver medalist from the 2008 Beijing Olympic Games, Tim Morehouse, before he competed at the 2012 London Olympics in fencing. Here is that CYInterview from the 2012 prior to the London Games, if you're interested in looking back on CYInterview history. But either way, go Team USA. The Olympics are almost here. I'm Chris Janik for CYInterview. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel to keep up with everything we have going on here at CYInterview, and I will see you in the next video. And now enjoy our past CYInterview with silver medalist from the 2008 Olympic Games, fencer Tim Morehouse.
You're on CYInterview.
This is Chris Janik. As the 2012 Olympic Games are now underway, many Americans will be focusing on sports like swimming and gymnastics. But aside from that is another sport seeing growth in America. Tim Morehouse is the face of American fencing. The 2008 Olympic silver medalist, who famously dueled with President Obama in 2009 on the White House lawn, stopped by to give us a preview of American men's fencing for the 2012 Olympics, the work he's done to grow fencing in America, among many other Olympic fencing and career topics. Here is our CYInterview.
Mr. Morehouse, thank you so much for joining me today. I want to start off by asking you, what does it mean to arguably be the biggest voice for your sport of fencing in America?
You know, I feel very fortunate, and it's an honor to be on the show as well. I feel very fortunate to have found the sport of fencing in my life. It gave me a lot of self-confidence and really brought a lot to me. And, you know, when you're an Olympian, I think you take on that responsibility, especially when you're in a smaller sport, to help promote it. And we have sort of a platform to do so, and so it's been my honor to try to get fencing out to the world.
So what in general turned you on to fencing, and then why did you want to become the best?
Well, I actually had no idea what fencing was when I was a kid. I was very much into baseball, and I saw a sign at my school that said, "Join the fencing team and you'll get out of gym." And so I, without knowing what it was, I thought, hey, this sounds cool. I can get out of PE if I join the fencing team. And I went, and I was, sword fighting, and just sort of fell in love with it. In terms of what made me want to be the best, I think it's always something that even when I was a kid, I visualized being at the Olympics, or when I was watching baseball, I visualized being on the Yankees. So I've always sort of, had in my mind reaching for the top when I'm doing something, and I feel fortunate I've had great coaches and great people around me who have helped push me, to those levels.
So after winning a silver medal at the 2008 Olympic Games, what are your hopes for 2012?
Well, we've never won a gold medal in men's fencing for the U.S. We've won 2 in women's, so the goal is really clear. It's to try to win a gold medal for the U.S. and for U.S. fencing, and that's what we're going into the London Games to do.
And what would you say about this year's team and their chances?
I think we're probably still a little bit of an underdog. It's still a European sport where they're full-time professionals who have salaries and healthcare and retirement programs, and we really are still some of the true amateurs left in the Olympics. Before the last 2 games, before I sort of embarked on this quest to promote fencing, and now I have a number of sponsors, I was working full-time. And I think that's pretty typical that most of our team are either students in school or they're working jobs as well as support themselves. So I think we have a tough task, in front of us, but I think we're very capable of winning the gold this summer.
Well, of course, there are the likes of Michael Phelps who have big endorsement deals, but do you think there is a big misconception about the kind of money most Olympians make?
I think people are starting to understand that if you're not in one of the major sports, that you're probably not making millions of dollars or even close to millions of dollars. Even in swimming, Michael Phelps and a few others like Ryan Lochte will get some good money, after they've won obviously so many gold medals. But I think the majority of the Olympic team are kind of everyday people who are, just middle class, working hard, and trying to pursue this Olympic dream.
You've done a lot to bring attention to the sport of fencing, as you've spoken about. What should people know about this sport that seems to only get attention every 4 years at the Olympics for the most part?
Yeah, I think we are starting to change that. I founded the Fencing Masters Tournament, which is going to be an annual tournament, which is basically, we sold out Hammerstein Ballroom in New York City, had close to 2,000 people. So I think you're going to start to see a lot more fencing press outside of the Olympics as well, because we're getting the tournament actually aired on national TV on Universal Sport, and that'll be a first for our sport. But I think it's really athletic, and you also have to be able to think. People call it a mixture of boxing and chess. So I think it can stimulate you on multiple levels.
So how much of fencing is mental preparation?
I think at the end of the day, everything is about the mental preparation and the mindset that you approach stuff with. I know during the Olympics that everyone's workouts always get a lot of play. But I think, if you're a top athlete, you have a great workout program. The thing that really separates, people who make the games from who don't, or people who finish first or who finish 20th, I think it really comes down to the mindset that you approach everything with. Like, are you willing to work hard year after year after year and endure all the challenges and the ups and downs, and, to still believe in yourself? So I think at the end of the day, everything starts with your mental approach.
Was the main reason you decided to do the ESPN body issue and bear all because you knew it would bring you to a new audience? People would talk about it, and thus that would bring more attention to fencing, and those are the kind of things you have to do sometimes to bring attention to something, or was there another reason?
Yeah, I think we've never had an athlete from fencing in the ESPN body issue, and so I think for fencing to continue to grow and to be considered with the swimmings and the gymnastics, we want a seat at the table. So for me, that was part of it. And also, I think there is a potentially misconception about how athletic our sport actually is and how we're really great athletes also. Obviously we're wearing these full body uniforms and we're competing, but, we're just as good athletes as anyone else out there. And, so I just thought it was an opportunity to show, how muscular and how physical we are as well.
Looking ahead, you stated you wanted to bring fencing to the America's educational system as part of physical education. Is that your ultimate goal on how you'd like to spread the sport, or do you have other goals?
I think there's basically, I want to work at the top of the chain. I want to turn my Fencing Masters competition into the equivalent of the X Games for fencing, where we're going to be on a major network where there'll be a lot of buzz around it, and we're just starting to make that happen. And really get our fencing team on TV to the point where a corporate sponsor will want to sponsor our athletes, and they will be able to train and not have to worry about the financials of it. And then, I think the other end of that is creating opportunities for kids to fence. So I want to see fencing become a regular part of physical education in this country, and I'm going to be, after the game, starting to train PE teachers to teach fencing, and hopefully we'll be able to create thousands of fencing programs over the next 10 years.
A lot of people say that a sport such as fencing just doesn't get the kind of coverage and attention like other events at the Olympics. What do you think then, is needed specifically to get that attention? I know that you say that you're expanding and you're getting on TV, and that's great, and there's other events, but what else is needed, you think?
I think things are popular because people make them that way, and I think that's what we're working towards now. If every kid gets a chance to fence when they're young, and if you're able to catch a fencing tournament on TV and learn about our athletes, I think that's going to cause more people to want to watch our team during the Olympic Games. So for me, it's really clear that as a sport, first we have to help ourselves. We have to work hard to get new fans and to get kids fencing and to get our sport on TV and to educate people. We have a lot of great athletes in our sport, a lot of great stories, and I'm hoping to be a big part of us getting there.
Absolutely. There's a lot of people out there who have voiced concerns about those Olympic uniforms for the United States. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I actually was on the Today Show a few days ago unveiling the outfits with David Lawrence. So it was sort of right in the middle of the the controversy. I know they've now said that for the 2014 Winter Games, they'll be made in the U.S. And, I think on the athlete side, our focus right now is just to try to go represent our country as the best we can at the games. And there's always controversies that come up, with the Olympics. And I think on the athlete end, we just try to, we've been training for 4 years to try to go to the games and represent our country proudly. And, that's really where our focus is.
Well, why don't you tell me about your experience fencing President Obama out on the front lawn of the White House a few years ago?
Yeah, that was one of those surreal moments. We were promoting the Chicago 2016 Olympic Games, and there were a number of athletes there in sports, and for whatever reason, President Obama came over and was really interested in fencing. So, he spent about 15 minutes with myself and one of my teammates just learning about the sport, and we dueled around a little bit, and it was a lot of fun. So.
Finally, if you end up with a gold medal this time around, what will that mean to you and your hopes for the future? Tim Morehouse, thank you so much for your time to hang on with me after answering that last question.
Sure. I mean, I think, whether I win the gold or not, my plans are the same. Who I am is the same. I'm going to be going to promote the sport as hard as I can, setting big goals for myself. I mean, at the end of the day, I know that I've prepared myself as much as I can for this Olympics, and I'm going to go in, and just put it all out there on the line. At the end of the day, that's all you can really do, and hopefully there'll be some magic in London like there was in Beijing.
Well, Tim, thank you so much for the time and an interesting discussion on your sport that does not get the attention it deserves, and I appreciate all the education and information about something that isn't talked about very much. Thank you so much for your time, and of course, good luck at the Olympics.
All right, thank you so much.
For CY Interview, I'm Chris Yandek.